Good morning.
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, good morning. How are you?
I'm good, Nicholas. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you.
Are you ready for your call?
Yes, sure. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so did you by any chance get a chance to go through the document that I sent you?
I have it opened in front of me, but I didn't um, spend too much time yet.
That's fine. That's completely fine. If you would like to just go through it right now, we can do that as well. Or if you want to go through it after we are done with the call, we can do that too. It'll just take 5 minutes or something like that. But it'll just really help me make the resume more focused towards your intended positions while highlighting your core skills.
Okay.
Yeah. So the purpose of the document is essentially to give you an idea of the discussion that we're going to have today. And I only need one thing from you. It's going to take like 5 minutes. That there's a keyword list at the top of the document if you've seen it.
Um, so is it the one at the top, Global Logistics
Yeah, the
Execution?
list. Yeah, you go through it later on too. I'm just going to tell you what I need from you, little small favor. The keyword list is something that I have dissected from the positions that you sent me, the positions you're
Mm-hmm.
interested in. So any keyword that you're not familiar with or something that doesn't apply to you, can you please just highlight it in red for me afterwards? And then I'll make sure that we don't include those words or those keywords in your resume so that we can just focus on the things that are more focused towards your intended positions while we are highlighting your core skills.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, another thing I just wanted to discuss before we jump right in your experience is that you're buying two versions of the resume, right?
I'm sorry.
You're buying two versions of the resume, right?
I'm sorry. I'm not sure I
You can
understand.
hear me? Um, so you have signed up for two versions of the resume. So one will
Correct.
be
Yes.
one will be targeting the general business analyst positions, and the other one will be focusing more on the logistics end, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm, I just wanted to get an idea of how you want to proceed the LinkedIn and the cover letter. If you want them to be more specified towards the logistics end, or would you like it to be in a broader sense as well?
Right. So the idea maybe was, to have one indeed, focus, one like WMS, TMS type of, I mean, it's more WMS really,
Yeah.
type of offers. And, and then the other one, maybe,
Yeah.
yeah, more generic, maybe more, less specific than WMS, but maybe more generic, like, business analyst program.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I got that. Thank you. I was just asking if you have any specific ideas for the LinkedIn, any particular direction you want me to take there, or should I keep it within the same focus?
Yeah, so that's the question. Do we focus the LinkedIn profile with the idea of WMS or not? Uh, I will say
I
yes.
think,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's highlight a few of your really good accomplishments there as well, and keep the tone a little business system analytic oriented, so that you have a wider net to cast, and more wide options.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Right. So let's get to the call and let's talk about your professional experience, and we'll just go one by one throughout the projects and dissect everything.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about your role at QED. You have been working here since 2005, right? Since as a senior solution consultant.
So actually, the dates I started, in Spain in 2002 with that
Yeah.
company, but I
Yeah.
started in US in 2005.
Yeah. But in the US, your position has been senior solution consultant. And in Spain, was it the same title?
No, so I'm not sure what you have. I'm not sure what you're looking at. Let me
Uh,
see.
I ha- I have your resume. Let's just go from the part that you have highlighted as your experience in the US, right? Let's dissect that part first, and then we'll go on to the Spain experience.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have mentioned that you have done some pre-sales actions.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So can you elaborate a little about it? Like what sort of actions were they, and how did they drive the sales funnel, and how did they optimize it? Can you please
Right.
explain a little?
So
Yeah.
I mean, so the the general picture here is that as a consultant, I will be used as an expert. I mean, as a subject matter expert in warehousing, for example. I will be the one doing the pre-sales present demo when it comes to a difficult customer about warehousing, meaning that I wasn't really the one doing the whole sales cycle, but they will
Right.
call me to do one action. Just say, okay, we need to sell this software. We're gonna have a customer with high expertise. We need somebody with a high expertise to answer his questions, and the sales guys have a certain expertise, but not that detailed. So
Right.
then
So
they,
yeah, please go on.
so yeah, so they do just ask me to do the pre-sales presentation and the first discussion with, I mean, some of the first discussions with the customer, but at the detailed level. Okay, so that's why
Right.
I would, but that's not something that I will be doing, pre-sales every week or stuff. It's just once in a while, right?
Yeah. Whenever the need arises, they asked you to do it
Correct.
for them, right?
Mm-hmm. So I
Yeah.
didn't really need to optimize much. I will just make sure to be ready to make the presentation of whatever they needed to see. Um,
Right. And but your act, the presentations and the informative material you gave them, that helped them gain more knowledge about the software, and that in
well,
turn.
most often it gives them more confidence that the product. I mean that the company that they're gonna buy from has not only a product but also people that are knowledgeable about the product. So
Right.
that increases the confidence, and often has been marked as the sales consultants. I mean the technical sales part is helping to make sure that um, let's say that's what makes the difference between one sales and another is that if we have a strong technical expertise, then the customer will feel much more confident and will actually buy from us rather than somebody who maybe doesn't have resources for helping them.
Right. Right. That makes a lot of sense. So you basically acted as a point of contact for the department, and you give information to the customer and build confidence, right?
Mhm. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. That sounds perfect. Then you've also mentioned that you give workshops to cross-functional team members for requirement gathering, for business analysis,
Right.
and for
Mhm.
yeah. So can you elaborate a little more about that? What was the focus of those workshops, and how big were the teams that you were giving the workshops to?
Right. So, the typical project is indeed starting eventually with the pre-sales action where I'm going to show the user, whoever is on the call, I will show them how the software works, and I will explain to them how we're going to implement eventually different functions, etc. And so once the customer agrees to go ahead with the implementation, then this is where I'm going to start doing. Indeed, if we organized our project pretty much as a kind of a waterfall type of project, and so we'll start with the requirement gathering, then do the analysis, define the solution, and then develop the solution, test it, finally validate it, and then finally go live. So indeed, at the beginning, most of the activities are to be leading requirement gathering um, workshops. So I would lead I will prepare meetings with different people from finance, logistics, warehouse, eventually manufacturing, depending on the subject.
Right.
And so I will prepare the meeting so that defining the objectives of the meeting, explaining, what the new things that we're going to see with the new software, and eventually, what is going to change. And so from there, I will gather, their feedback, get their information, work with them to make sure that the solution will be adopted by everybody. So those workshops are for me the kind of the most important piece where you get the agreement and the adherence of the business team to the solution, thanks to making sure that they are involving themselves, meaning that those meetings are really involving them in the project, and that's very important to get their agreement so that the execution happens flawlessly.
Right.
So
Yeah, that sounds good. And did you create and design the content of those workshops as well? Or did you gather data from different departments and analyze and compile it?
yeah, so I will try to run, type of agile
Right.
implementation, meaning that, we will go through the requirements, high level, and then we will, try to catch the most important ones, try to architect together also the business solution, and then finally take the software and try to do it there so that we could see eventually right there physically. I mean, so they have a direct feedback from the system, and they can see how the system works today, and eventually where are the gaps, and eventually where do we have to do some custom design, and showing them how the system works allows them to also learn, etc. And so
Yeah.
making a closed loop like this as the agile style, where we will see through one workshop, we will go through all the phases of the implementation, meaning that we will do a little bit of requirement analysis, then business solution design together, then go to the system, test it, do it together. This is much more concrete for them, and
Right.
so that's the way
And
I will try to implement.
okay. This in turn would increase the engagement as well, right? It would
That's right.
increase the engagement about the product, and
Mm-hmm.
it would increase the interest as well. So,
Mm-hmm.
do you have any numbers or any percentage in mind in which you can think how much did these workshops and these software demonstrations help in increasing the efficiency of the entire process?
Percentage, it's very soft, right? I mean, I'm saying it's a soft, um, how to say?
Yeah, I understood that you're saying it's not the actual implementation, it's the demonstration, but I'm asking about the efficiency of the process. If you can think about it, it's fine. Otherwise, it's okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, the agile implementation style,
Yeah.
we know it speaks for itself in the sense that it increases. We know it today is that it increases the involvement of people, etc. Um,
Yeah. So, did you guys utilize any other technology-aided tools to conduct the trainings?
sorry, which one?
Any technology-aided tools?
Technology. So we didn't really. I mean, GR, you know, GR,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is the eventually I will use this to gather, log the requirements. But what I will use a lot is, workflow applications. I mean,
Right.
workflow like MS Visio, Microsoft Visio, or Google Lucid Chart. I'm not sure if you. So
Yeah.
Lucid Chart I will use to make the workflows, and then for each function you would click and you will see the underlying workflow. So I could drill down like this from the generic, very high-level workflow, high-level processes, and I developed such so that I can just click on the process and then see the under detailed process and then drill down like this. Users like it pretty well.
Yeah, so it must save you a lot of time by doing this since you have digitized all these processes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that must have made things more efficient for you, right?
So the advantage